Hey guys, welcome back. First of all, hope everybody's had a great weekend so far. Uh, this is the at last, about time and long awaited, maybe only by me, the third and final installment to my DC Explosion series. It's part three. Uh, this was a time, and I've said this before. It was a kind of an exciting time to be a DC collector. You had all these new books coming out, books that had added pages and the backup features, which was basically, the main, I guess, impetus for me to buy these books. Uh, but this are the books that came out in August of 1978, and most of them are cover dated like November, December 78. So this is everything that was on sale at last month, including all the dollar comics and all that. But hey, let's get to it. Here we have Superman in Action Comics number 489. Pretty cool cover. I think at this time a lot of the covers were done by Ross Andru and Dick Giordano. Sort of like the company look then. Got some extra action with the Atom, which is cool. And here we have my original copy of Adventure Comics number 460. More Andru and Giordano on the cover. Got all the great features: Flash, Deadman, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. And look, Wonder Woman's saving Steve Trevor again, or maybe he's dead again. I don't know. But, this one's pretty well loved, as you can see. And so you have to get an upgrade. So there we are. A little bit prettier. And here we got Batman number 305 with a great Jim Aparo cover. And extra, the unsolved cases of Batman. You think he would have solved them all by now. Like I say, most of these books aren't going to break the bank. The Batman stuff obviously is going to be a little bit pricier. But for the most part, you can find these, in probably in higher grade for like $10 or less. And if you're going for mid grade, probably less than that. And here we have more Batman, Brave and Bold number 144, Batman and Green Arrow. Got an extra feature, Human Target, and the Symphony for the Devil contract. Nice. And one of my favorites here, DC Comics Presents number 3 with Adam Strange, one of my favorite characters. And I think this is my original. Actually, this was in pretty good shape. Just got like a little bit of stuff going on in the top corner. And speaking of books that'll cost, this is probably the one that'll cost you the most. This is DC Special Series, and I've forgotten the number. I think it's 16. But I'll have to look. Yeah, number 16. Should have that written on the board, but I didn't. But my memory was pretty fair, so, about comics anyway. Yeah, here we have a DC Special Series number 16, Jonah Hex Spectacular. And as probably all of you know, or most of you know, this is the death of Jonah Hex. So a lot of good stuff going on there. We got Scalp Hunter, we got Batlash, got a great Garcia Lopez cover. So if you're a Jonah Hex Western fan, or just like Key, this is a good one for the collection. And here we have Batman Detective Comics number 480. Another great apparel cover. You got Hawkman. There you go, Higgy. In the backup feature. And we got Flash 267. Who did this cover? This was by Rich Buckler and Dick Giordano. And we got Never Before Revealed, the origin of Flash's uniform. Riveting stuff. And here we have Ghosts, number 70. And I'm pretty sure that's a Luis Dominguez cover. Love his stuff. And here's another copy. This might be an original. Yeah. Kind of beat up on the top a little bit. And Green Lantern, Green Arrow, number 110. There's extra features. Hey, we got some Alan Scott Green Lantern, so that's worth the price for that alone. Doom of Dragonfire. It's a great cover by Mike Grell. And House of Mystery, number 262. The late, great Joe Orlando on the cover. Grab a sip of coffee with my Snoopy cup. How about that, huh? Jonah Hex, number 18. Another really nice Garcia Lopez cover. And, of course, my favorite title, Then. Now, I think 1 and 2, it kind of flip-flopped between that and Commandy and All-Star Comics, maybe. But here's Justice League of America 160. Part of the JLA, JSA team-up with some of the characters of yesteryear. Great story with the Time Lord. And this is, as you can tell, is my original copy. Yep. And Eric K. would be ashamed of me, but I have not upgraded this one yet. But it's in a cart, Eric. It's in a cart. All right. And here we have Men of War, number 10. Great Joe Kubert cover. Sergeant Rock, number 322. More of the same, Kubert greatness. How can you look at a cover like this and not want to pick it up? Huh? That's just me. I'm a Kubert guy, but I know a lot of you are, so. And Superboy and Legion of Superheroes, number 245, against Mordru. It's a really good story. Who's on the art here? We got Al Milgrom and Joe Rubinstein. And here we have Superman 329. Extra feature, Mr. and Mrs. Superman. I'm not really sure if that's the Earth 2 Superman. I'm sure it would have to be, unless they were calling this an imaginary story, which they're all imaginary stories. But yeah, I got some Supes action going on there. The Killer Kryptonoid. And got more Superman and Superman Family, number 192. More Andrew and Giordano on the cover. Closing in on having all the Superman families. They're mostly like all the later issues. So, actually, in this later run where they went to the Dollar Comics, there's actually some hidden gems in there as far as story and art wise. So, if you're into the Superman family of heroes and characters, some good stuff in there. And oh yeah, this is a childhood copy for sure. You can tell. Did I staple that? Maybe they just stapled that wrong. I don't know. Anyway, it has been loved. And here we have The Unexpected, number 188. 25 fear-filled pages featuring, and in this corner, death. More Dominguez. The guy was really prolific on these mystery titles. Unknown Soldier, number 221. Guess who? our guy Joe on the cover, Joe Kubert. Weird War, number 69. Another awesome Joe Kubert masterpiece. Couple more. And here we have another Dominguez cover, but this is on Weird Western Tales, number 49, with Scalp Hunter. And we have an extra feature, Cinnamon. More Western bang for your buck, or your 50 cents. And last but not least, we have Wonder Woman, number 249, with a great Buckler and Giordano cover. Guest starring Hawk Girl. There you go, Higgy. I'd be surprised if you didn't have this one. And we have the Amazons in the extra feature. Okay, folks, that wraps it up. I, for one, have had a lot of fun with this. It was fun back in the day when I was picking these books up. Of course, I couldn't get them all when I was a kid, so gradually over the years, and I guess it took me like 45, 50 years, I guess, to finally accumulate them all for those 3 months. But it was fun. I enjoyed getting those books and reading them and accumulating them for these series of videos. And it just, it was a fun little quirky time for DC. It really didn't work out a lot like back in 1971 when they had all their titles go to 25-cent giants for 48 and 52 pages, but that they might not have done well financially, but as collectors, we did okay, for that stuff. But for everyone that came along on this ride with me, I really appreciate it. This brings back a lot of good memories, and like I say, as far as issue-wise and all that, there might not be a lot of key things going on, but if you're a DC fan, it was good. And like I say, for the most part, they won't cost you a lot of money. Maybe the Jonah Hex special and a couple others will be more than a few bucks, but a lot of good stuff, and a lot of good memories. And for those of you that hung in there, and especially my buddy Eric K, I know he was like, man, are you ever going to get this series of videos done? I'm sure that's what he was thinking anyway. But anyway, appreciate you guys, and hopefully, I'm not sure when it will happen. I'll be doing a series of videos on the Implosion, which is a little bit more interesting maybe as some people. Still a few books that I want to accumulate for that, and a lot of it has to do with like books that didn't get published, stories that I have like Xeroxes of the canceled comic Cavalcade. Some of those stories, probably a lot of them, actually ended up in DC Comics later on. So I think I got a few more books to accumulate to show just for history purposes, and just because I want them, where those stories ended up. Some ended up in a digest, some ended up in a war book, and some stories got changed. And I think one that got changed a little bit was I think the last issue of Steel Indestructible Man was number 5, but I think the story that was going to be for number 6 got changed around and got stuck in the All-Star Squadron somewhere. So a lot of interesting, maybe just a few of us stuff about that. So over the next few months, I'm going to be trying to complete the stuff I need for that and working all that stuff up for anybody that's interested in that. So once again, guys, I appreciate you hanging around, and appreciate all the likes and comments, new subscribers. Appreciate you guys more than you know. So we will see you again soon. Onward and upward.